Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Happy Sunday to all of you. Hope you all have had a wonderful weekend and have a safe and prosperous week. This information I'm bringing to you is out of Memphis, Tennessee. There's an area in Memphis called Fox Meadows, and I'm going to bring you content about a Highland Hills apartment complex that has an issue with Memphis light, gas, and water. This entity is shutting off power services to these residents very soon, and they will be in a very dire situation without lights, gas, and water. Why is this company shutting off services to these residents? I'm going to bring you a background of the apartment complex, how many units it has. I'm going to bring you everything as far as features, the rent, everything, and we're going to chop up what is actually going on with the city. We're going to dissect the reasons that they would be cutting off the power. But before that, I'm going to play you content out of the YouTube queue of a video of residents speaking out about this dire situation. WREG is the source. Thank you for joining me.
I don't know what to do. And I got so rapist, and I don't know what to do. It's been so stressful.
Facing potential termination of utilities, people living at a Fox Meadows apartment complex are left scrambling tonight. This comes as they tell our Jordan James they paid their bills. He's here now to tell us he's been working all day to get answers into the situation. And Jordan, what'd you find out?
Hey, Shay, MLGW informed tenants that they decided to terminate the relationship with the apartment complex, and now residents are left to deal with the consequences of this decision. In less than a week, tenants living at Highland Hills Apartments are expecting to have their utilities cut off after Memphis Light, Gas, and Water served them with a notice.
This is just wrong. They're wrong.
People at the complex say they found out this Saturday and have no idea why this is happening, leading to anger and confusion.
I feel mad as hell. I'm pissed off.
The uncertainty about the future has left parents like Stephanie Murray emotional.
And it's crazy because they didn't notify no one of the situation at all. Nobody. Within 1 week, what can I do? Within 1 week when school started, and I'm having to do all this. And a lot of people just pay rent. What am I supposed to do?
In the notice sent to tenants, MLGW did not provide any specifics about the decision, but did say they're disconnecting the master meter next Friday, which will likely lead to the shutoff of electric services and water. The utility company told them to contact their landlord for further questions. For these tenants, that's not good enough.
You're a multi-million-dollar company. You're that greedy that you will see hundreds of people put out on the street.
Online records show the apartment complex is managed by Multi-South Management Services. WREG made several attempts to reach them, but never heard back, which residents say is common.
They never answer the phone. Then we have to leave messages.
Not only are tenants dealing with the prospect of having their utilities shut off, but also they describe their living conditions as deplorable. At Kawani Smith's home, there is mold, rodents, plumbing issues, and a host of other problems.
You get us out of your home and replace us with something else. Because you would like to live in nothing like this.
For many, this place called home is all they have.
How would you feel if this was you in this situation?
Soon could have it taken away.
We need help in Highland Hills Apartment.
Like I say, I did reach out to MLGW, and a spokesperson told us they did not have any more information to give at this time, but this is a story we're going to continue to stay on. In studio, Jordan James, WREG, News Channel 3.
Thank you for joining me. Kawani Smith, wherever you are in Memphis, Tennessee, please notify the Queen. Drop a text on my video so we can get this issue resolved and get your name and information out there to the public so people can understand what is going on down there. Anybody else that lives at these apartments, please reach out to Everyday Shenanigans. We're going to see what's the problem, because I'm going to chop up the various reasons why this Memphis company has severed ties with the apartment complex, okay? But I'm going to read to you the location of the apartment complex so you can get a general idea of what is going on. Fox Meadows is an area located inside of the city of Memphis, Tennessee. The name of these apartments, Highland Hills. Thank you for joining me. Let's see what we can come up with. Oh, mercy. It's just a bad situation. One moment while I get my information ready so I can load everything up. Hope you all are well out there, having a great weekend, staying cool. Somebody won't be having that luxury come next Friday. Hello, Kim. We're going to get to the bottom of what's going on because I think it's way more than just cutting off power. I think most of you know that. Let's chop up this place in Memphis, Tennessee, located in Fox Meadows. This is an overview of the apartment complex. 2831 Foster Wood, Memphis, Tennessee. 38115 is the zip code. The rent ranges from $745 to $1,065. Is this HUD based on your income or market rent? 260 units. I have written down Multi-South Management manages these apartments. Now know that when a entity manages an apartment, it does not mean they own the apartment. And I will read you the said information pertaining to who can own the apartments. Let's bring an overview. This apartment complex starts at 1 to 3 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms have 2.5 baths. 1,234 square feet to 1,710 for 2 and 3 bedrooms. No apartments are available. Come enjoy Memphis living at Highland Hills. This property is situated at 2831 Fosterwood Drive in Memphis. Let the professional leasing staff show you everything this community has in store. At Highland Hills, your home. Well, here in another week, it won't be home. They won't have no damn power. Highland Hills is an apartment community located Shelby County, 38115 zip code. This area is served by the Shelby County Schools Attendance Zone. This apartment has the following amenities: swimming pool, laundry facilities, playground, clubhouse, business center. Yeah, okay. Dishwasher, washer, dryer, hookup, high-speed internet access, walk-in closets. Heating, smoke-free, fireplace, dishwasher, kitchen, walk-in closets, balcony. You're allowed a limit of 2 animals, 25-pound weight, $25 monthly fee. You must pay a one-time fee of $700 to have a pet at this location. You're also allowed to have cats. Same. 2 limit per cat, $25 monthly rent per animal. One-time fee also $700. There's a parking lot, 1 space, unassigned parking. Administration fee $85. Application fee $50. Included in this apartment rental would be water and trash free. Once again, let me say this to you all. Utilities included is water, trash, property information built in 1974, 260 units, 2 stories. Thank you for joining me. Location, once again, 2831 Fosterwood Drive, Memphis, Tennessee, in the Fox Meadows area, if you are familiar with this location. And then they give you a range of other apartment units that have similar price ranges, and that doesn't really matter at this point because nobody is going to be living here. If they are, they're going to be living in this apartment without any power, any water, and I think most of you know how that's going to end up, trying to stay in an apartment, home, house, trailer, whatsoever, without any power, any water. You will not be able to turn on any type of amenities inside of your home. Two, how are you going to flush the toilet? No water, no sewer. Stay woke. This apartment complex is located near Harding University, Memphis, 9 minutes away, 4.6 miles. University of Memphis, 15-minute drive, 7.3 miles. Southwest Tennessee, Macon Cove, 16-minute drive, 9.2 miles away. It has several elementary schools, 1, 2, 3 elementary schools, and also near Ridgeway High School, serving grades 9 through 12. It is near R&R Plaza Shopping Center, Apple Tree Center, 5-minute walk. R&R Plaza is a 5-minute walk. Ridgeway Crossing, 6-minute walk. Parks and Recreation, they're near Lecterman Nature Center, Pink Palace Museum, CTI 3D Movie Theater. That's a 4-minute drive. Dixon Gallery and Gardens, 10-minute drive. Memphis Botanic Garden, 11-minute drive. Highland Hills has 5 parks within 5 to 3 miles, including the Nature Center, Pink Palace Museum, and the 3D Theater, CTI. It is also near Memphis Defense Depot, military base, 15-minute drive. Memphis Naval Air Station, 34 minutes. Walkability near Highland Hills, somewhat walkable, 62 out of 100 walk score. You might be able to get out and walk when living in this area. Some errands can be accomplished on foot, but for others, you'll need a car. Minimal transit score, 22 out of 100, which means that is not very good. You need a car. Somewhat bikeable, 49 out of 100. Once again, you need a car for most errands. Active, 74 out of 100. Traffic, active. Airport, calm. Business, active. Transportation. Options available in Memphis include Cleveland Street, located 12.1 miles from Highland Hills. Highland Hills is near Memphis International Airport, located 8.8 miles, which is 14 minutes away. So they're near the airport, but basically you need a car to live in this apartment complex. Once again, they are near Cleveland Street, 19-minute drive. Pauline Street, 20-minute drive. Dunlap, 20 minutes. Orland Street, 20 minutes. Danny Thomas Boulevard, 21 minutes. I mentioned this to you to show you need a damn car here. All these places I just mentioned, those places have the nearest transit system, which would be the Memphis bus line. So basically, you need a car to live in this place. Now, what is to become of these residents? Because this is a serious situation. Yes, it's possible they didn't pay their rent. We're going to talk about all of that, so just bear with me. Memphis International, 14-minute drive, 8.8 miles away. Property ratings at Highland Hills. This says a 4.0 out of 5. Write a review. You should know the Queen wrote a review. Maintenance, 3 stars. The apartment is good. The leasing office was very helpful, but maintenance was an issue. It takes the maintenance team forever. Let me see if I can open that up. It says read more. Okay. It takes the maintenance team forever to fix anything. It took 2 months to get a new dishwasher, and I called about a wasp net that was under my staircase, and no one did anything, but my dad had to come and remove it after my niece was stung twice while playing by the stairs. This was February 28, 2020, so this was 2 years ago. 4 stars, February 15, 2017. Maintenance was an issue. While I was there, it took them a long time to get things fixed, but the community isn't bad. Never had any drama or bad neighbors. A 2-bedroom size you can't beat. I would recommend them. This was 5 years ago. Apartment is cozy, spacious, great value for the money, wonderful location, close to the interstate, shopping and restaurants. However, it has an inadequate lighting and security. Grounds are well kept in common areas, but neglected in other areas and on weekends. Overall, okay. 3 stars, August 8th, 2015. When I first moved to Memphis, I thought about areas I would like to move in. to and the price range I could afford. After searching several apartments.com, I found an awesome place not far from my job, son, school, and it's a decent area. Highland Hills have amazing staff, and I prefer others at any time. This is 2015, which is 7 years ago. They gave it 5 stars. These are older reviews. Where is this property located? Highland Hills is located in Fox Meadows in the city of Memphis. Here you'll find 3 shopping centers within 3 miles. There are also 5 parks within 5.3 miles. And that is the Nature Center, Pink Palace Museum, and the CTI 3D Center. So anybody who's familiar with this area, you'll know where I'm talking about. What's the problem? Many of you are sitting down there trying to figure out, well, why are they cutting off the power, the water, the gas? Well, let's see, 260 units. This apartment complex is managed by Multi-South Management. Multi-South Management, let the Queen talk to you directly. You've got some nice apartment complexes listed on your portfolio in the state of Tennessee. You service many areas from Arkansas to Missouri, including the state of Tennessee, Mississippi. So what's the problem here? We do know that you don't own this place, possibly. You're managing it for another person or entity, corporation, or investors. Is this an issue? That yes, renters have not been paying their rent or electric. This is a trickle effect. The renters aren't paying the landlord, management company / the owner, because the owner naturally is hiring this company to manage the property for them. So if nobody is paying rent on time, nobody's paying their electric on time, then that's going to be a problem for the owner. Is the owner bankrupt? Has the owner been cited with citations from the city? One woman by the name of Miss Kawani has showed her apartment, and it is in deplorable conditions. The ceiling is caving in. You can see where there's water damage, and the ceiling, part of the ceiling is missing. The closet she opened had mold in it. They are also complaining about rodents and rats. So has the city issued many citations to the landlord / management company / owner? Has the owner complied? Has the owner paid monies for the citations? Obviously not. If it's an issue of that's why they're closing the place. So naturally, the water company, gas company will no longer be assessing, giving any type of services to the apartment complex, because let's say the city is condemning this apartment complex. Is this an issue that the apartment complex has received citations that have gone they have not been paid, not been answered to, can't reach the owner hasn't complied, management hasn't complied. So the city has talked to, city codes, has talked to the water, gas, lights to say, well, they're not complying. We're shutting them down. We're giving them citations. You're going to have to shut off the power. But we know legally this is crazy, okay? Because one, these people have paid rent. Let's start there. Why in the hell would you, a week after someone has paid their rent to the apartment complex, then issue a notice on a Saturday to shut off their power, water, gas? So imagine these people have paid their hard-earned money, the 1st through the 3rd, because most apartment complexes accept rent 1 through the 3rd. Now, you get a notice days later that your services are going to be cut off. So why hasn't the management talked to the tenants, sent them a notice to tell them what's going on with them and the city of Memphis? So why are they cutting off the power? I've got a feeling this is an apartment owner issue with the city. They either have received lots of citations from the city, code violations, racked up a lot of due bills with citations, and can no longer afford to be in ownership of the property. Could it be the city is seizing the property, condemning the property? The owner is bankrupt, has financial issues. What is the problem? Thank you all so much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $Big Angie 129. Cash App, all stickers are welcome during this live. Is HUD involved in this debacle? Does this apartment accept HUD vouchers? Does it go by your income or is it market rent only? Have the renters been paying their rent and electric? As I said, is this a trickle effect of the renters not paying rent, electric, and it has caused a financial strain burden on the owner? So the owner can no longer sustain the property. And it's the property in the reds with the city of Memphis as far as citations. Very interesting. Where would the renters go? Because you can't stay in that apartment without any power. At some point, you're going to have to come out of there. Will the city of Memphis offer housing choice vouchers for all 260-something residents if indeed they're not on HUD? So let's say some of the residents, this place takes HUD vouchers, and these people are on vouchers. So that means they'd have to take that voucher and go find another place to live in the general area. Everybody knows that when you don't have power on, the power company usually calls the management company of the apartment complex or owner of a home and let them know that the person living in that residence is not paying electric. The electric's been turned off or it's going to be shut off. So then the management is supposed to go to you, send you a notice to tell you, hey, you've got this amount of time to pay your electric or we will forfeit your lease. And in this case, it won't matter now, will it? Won't matter at all. When you go on that website, I think I counted 34 apartments managed by this Multi-South Management. Some are swanky looking in the Memphis area. Some are regular looking, filtered with a lot of pretty lights and backgrounds of the sky and colored sky. But I'm sure if I was to go up close, I wouldn't be that, what's the word I'm looking for? It wouldn't appeal to me. What I find interesting about the website is that when you go and look up the apartment complex of Highland Hills, there is no picture of that apartment complex on the website. They have an entire listing of all the apartments in Tennessee that they manage. And some have pictures of the property, but Highland Hills does not. It has a model's picture of black man, black woman, and child, I believe, posing with boxes on a floor as if they just moved into an apartment house. How convenient. And you have another apartment complex also that doesn't have a picture. Why is that, Multi-South? Why don't you have pictures? Because when you go to the Highland Hills website itself, they have pictures of the apartment complex, just 2 pictures, which I find interesting because why don't you have pictures of the apartment townhouses, what they look like on the inside? Most people, when they go to a website, they want to see what it looks like on the inside. They want the square footage, the rent, what amenities it has, and they want pictures. They want to see a visual of what the bedrooms look like, what the living room looks like, what the kitchen looks like. And the only time you don't show a picture is because, hell, you can't take no damn pictures because possibly some of the apartments are not up to par visually. Is that what's going on? You want me to believe there's not one nice apartment out of 260 units, Highland Hills? John says, do they pay the electric, gas, and the rent? What if the owner did not pay the electric and gas? Someone's got to answer. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Is this a financial issue pertaining to the owner? Because yes, the only thing they give the tenants free is trash and water. So if indeed, great point, the owner has not paid the water bill, electric bill for the lighting on the property itself, lighting fixtures on the property, you know, in the walkways, breezeways, however, that's going to be a problem. I do not know if this apartment is run by gas, because it could just be standard electric, central heat and air, where it's just, central heat and air. There's no gas. I don't know. But that's why I said, is this an issue of a financial burden on the owner? They haven't done their part. They're not paying their due bills. It's a rundown facility. They've had a lot of citations by the city, complaints from the residents, and a lot of code violations. The city has a right to shut the property down. Therefore, that's going to be a problem if you have been rendered a citation to be condemned. Then water, gas, and light will no longer be needed. So what is the real issue for the city of Memphis cutting off services? Financial issues on the owner, issues of people not paying their bills on time, water, gas, light, what? I don't know. Can't be water because water is included. So we're going to scratch water. So that leaves gas and electric. And then there's sewer. That would also be on the owner's part to pay the water and the sewer and the trash. The tenants are only responsible for the electric. And there was no mentioning of gas in the portfolio that I just read. So it could be the owners have not been paying the water bill. Very true. The water and the sewer. And possibly gas if the apartment is ran by gas. But as I said, there was no mention of it. You're talking about almost 300 apartments. It's a lot of people. The master meter will be shut off this coming Friday. Kawani Smith, whoever you are, wherever you are, contact the Queen. Get your story out here so people will know. Notify your other tenants. They are free to contact Everyday Shenanigans. They want to be heard and let people know that they are human beings and they have children, elderly. How many complaints has this apartment complex had through the city? How many complaints go into the management company? You hear a young man say they don't answer the phones. So how long has that been going on? So you have to start at the root of the problem. How long has the property been low rent? Rats, rodents running around. Do you fix things in a timely fashion? How long does it take you before you get back to the tenant with a complaint? Is there somebody working in the office Monday through Friday? Or is it part-time? Who is the manager of the property? Woman, female? Do you have other staff members working? Do you have adequate maintenance workers working? See, all that's going to make an apartment complex flow properly. It has to start from the top to the bottom, from the person who owns it, to the staff working on the property, to the people living in the residence, all the way up to the management, the people hired to manage this apartment complex. What's going on with Highland Hills in Memphis, Tennessee? Where will these people go come Friday with no power? Will they continue to stay in their apartments with no power? Now imagine somebody elderly still using rotary phones, older phones, no cell phones. How are they going to call people to make arrangements to get themselves situated with no damn power? There should be a backup plan for these people. Well, what would that plan be, Esley? The only backup plan will be the city of Memphis issuing housing vouchers for those who possibly aren't on vouchers, or help from the Red Cross to put them in hotels until they can navigate where to go next. And that's another question. Is this place affiliated with HUD? Is this a place that goes by your income only and / accepting housing vouchers? Or is this apartment complex market rent only? I just said the city can issue help from giving them a housing voucher if the people don't have housing vouchers. 2, the Red Cross will step in to get the people into hotels. Because you know it is still summer. Memphis is hot and humid. There's no way they're going to be able to continue to stay in those apartments without any air conditioning. It's not going to work. Somebody will end up dead down there. And then that will be a lawsuit. Will they hire a lawyer? Let's go there. Will they hire a lawyer? The residents. This is a great lawsuit for many poor people, working class people. Somebody's going to jump on board and reach out to these great citizens of Memphis, naturally, and start handing out cards to their law firm. And this manager / owner, their insurance company, because both will have insurance, they will sue them for negligence, gross negligence, mind you, because you cannot just send someone a notice that their lights are going to be cut off in a damn week and they have no reprieve. It's a difference if you haven't paid your light bill and you get a notice. Hey, the light's going to be cut off the end of tomorrow. Work day. The city is saying we're not giving lights to this company, period. It's over with. So that means there is a problem with the city of Memphis and the management / owner of these apartments. What is the problem? This is horrendous because it is hot in America, if you have not noticed. And Memphis gets very hot. My family is from Memphis, which is where my mother derived from. And I remember as a child visiting Memphis from Chicago as a little girl. The people were standing on the street in the 70s with umbrellas. That was the very first time I had ever seen a human being stand outside in summer months with an umbrella. That's my testimony. My very first time. And I remember that as if it was yesterday. Driving down the street in a car and looking out of the window as a child at these women standing outside on the street in Memphis, possibly waiting for the bus or something, with umbrellas. And I was like, Mommy, why do they have umbrellas? Not thinking, it's hot outside. Hello, Scholar. Thank you for joining. What's going to happen to these Highland Hill residents? Will the city step in to help these people get situated? Red Cross, naturally, Red Cross always steps in to people who are in fire, floods. And naturally, this is a disaster because it's no power, no water. You have to be able to use the bathroom. You have to take a shower. You have to be able to flush the toilet. So imagine what's going to happen next week when people have to use the restroom. We don't have to go there, but you know it's going to be some nasty business up in there. So whatever problems this place has, as far as rodents, mold, not adequate staffing, maintenance, repairs, it's going to be even worse with backed up toilets. It's going to be hell on earth. Thank you, sweetheart. God bless them, because they're going to need it. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hello, Debbie. I'm going to play this content for those just coming in the chat and haven't heard the testimony coming out of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to play that video one more time for those that might want to hear what the hell's going on down there. This is bad, bad business, man. This is bad. This is real bad.
I don't know what to do. And I got so anxious and I don't know what to do.
Hello, Jackie.
I've been so stressed.
Facing potential termination of utilities, people living at a Fox Meadows apartment complex are left scrambling tonight. This comes as they tell our Jordan James they paid their bills. He's here now to tell us he's been working all day to get answers into the situation. And Jordan, what'd you find out?
Hey Shay, MLGW informed tenants that they decided to terminate the relationship with the apartment complex, and now residents are left to deal with the consequences of this decision. In less than a week, tenants living at Highland Hills Apartments are expecting to have their utilities cut off after Memphis Light Gas and Water served them with a notice.
This is just wrong. They're wrong.
People at the complex say they found out this Saturday and have no idea why this is happening, leading to anger and confusion.
I feel mad as hell. I'm pissed off.
The uncertainty about the future has left parents like Stephanie Murray emotional.
And it's crazy because they didn't notify no one of the situation at all. Nobody. Within 1 week, what can I do? Within 1 week when school started, and I'm having to do all this. And a lot of people just pay rent. What am I supposed to do?
In the notice sent to tenants, MLGW did not provide any specifics about the decision, but did say they're disconnecting the master meter next Friday, which will likely lead to the shutoff of electric services and water. The utility company told them to contact their landlord for further questions. For these tenants, that's not good enough.
You're a multi-million-dollar company. You're that greedy that you will see hundreds of people put out on the street.
Online records show the apartment complex is managed by Multi-South Management Services. WREG made several attempts to reach them, but never heard back, which residents say is common.
They never answer the phone. Then we have to leave messages.
Not only are tenants dealing with the prospect of having their utilities shut off, but also they describe their living conditions as deplorable. At Kawani Smith's home, there is mold, rodents, plumbing issues, and a host of other problems.
To get us out there home and replace us with something better. Because you wouldn't like to live in nothing like this.
For many, this place called home is all they have.
How would you feel if this was you in this situation?
Soon could have it taken away.
We need help in Highland Hills Apartment.
Like I say, I did reach out to MLGW, and a spokesperson told us they did not have any more information to give at this time, but this is a story we're going to continue to stay on. In studio, Jordan James, WREG, News Channel 3.
All right, everybody. WREG is the source of that information. 67 viewing, thank you. What is going to become of these residents? 260 units. That's a lot of people. That's almost 300 people that's going to be without power, water, sewer. You will not be able to work your internet, your TV, music. You will not be able to shower, flush the toilet. All the amenities that we take for granted here in this great country. So next week when you are taking your shower, as long as you feel like it, you know that you can do that because you've paid the water bill or where you live is giving you free water. Wash your clothes because you have water. Turn the air conditioner up, down because you have air. But come next Friday, 260 people will not be afforded that opportunity in Memphis, Tennessee. What is the hell going on down there? Memphis has a lot of crime, a lot of problems. And I brought you content the other day about Pepper Tree Apartments. I'm going to bring you a little background on Pepper Tree while I'm doing this live before I check out here. Thank you all so much for joining me. Pepper Tree had a landing cave through the other day, and a mother and child fell through the second floor landing to the ground. That's a great lawsuit as well, because I got a funky feeling Pepper Tree is probably in the same shape as this place here. Bad management, bad owners, no good staff, maintenance, workers, just letting the place run itself. So the earth took back what it had, okay? The landing fell through. And that's what happens when you don't keep things up to par. You don't fix things. The whole damn landing fell through. Imagine that. Imagine if this was a third or fourth floor apartment and the landing fell through. These people could possibly be dead. But they are alive by the grace of God. But as I said, great lawsuit. Because I bet when you go back in the book, you'll see this place has had many problems with the city of Memphis, police, crime, poor management, poor ownership, everything you can think of. Cleon Bethia says, I think the property is sold. Let me put Hold on one sec, Cleon. Let's see. I'm going to put this down here so you all can hit the link if you want to. I don't think anybody really wanted to hit the link today, so I'm going to put this up here. Dear God, what in the world's going on? It's crazy. Why do you think it's so, hon? Jeez, what kind of world? Man, this is insane to me. One second, you guys. Anyone listening down in Memphis, Tennessee to this live, feel free to call in here and give us your opinion pertaining to what's going on down there, because we don't live down there, so we don't know everything that's going on. Thank you, Cleon. I think it's so. Well, that's even worse. So to whom? That's why I said there's some underhanded stuff that's going on already with this property. They just didn't notify the tenants of anything. The owner didn't tell the tenants what was going on exactly with the property. That's what's been going on. Didn't tell anybody anything. And naturally, they're not going to answer the phone. The person working there in the office, they knew they didn't have a job. They didn't probably say a word. Just let the people call in, complaining, moaning. Didn't say anything. If you'd like to hit the link to give your opinion about this content I've just played by WREG, please hit the link. If you live in Memphis, Tennessee, and you know of this property, please hit the link. I'm going to read you some content pertaining to Pepper Tree property, apartments in Memphis, Tennessee. They have a lot of problems down there. I played you content pertaining to a second floor landing that fell in, and a woman and child were crossing over, I guess coming out of their apartment or going to their apartment, and they fell 2 flights down. Pepper Trees has some issues as well, and I'm going to play you information pertaining to the crime in that location. Thank you for joining me. News 3, WRAG is the source. Pepper Tree's problems go beyond just crime. This was uploaded November 24th, 2021. It's not just crime that residents at the Pepper Tree Apartments, where law enforcement served a nuisance order this week, have complained about. Those unsafe living conditions also extend to the property itself, and records WREG just obtained show that in the past, residents continue to ask for help and change. City and county leaders declared the Whitehaven apartment complex, built in 1972, a public nuisance this week after they said police responded there 1,649 times from March 2020 to October 2021. Residents will not be allowed to renew their leases, and the complex can't accept no new tenants. Now, this is coming from November 2021. And now you come into the month of August 2022, and a whole damn landing has caved in. So let me repeat what I just read. This apartment complex is in Whitehaven, built in 1972. Police has responded to 1,649 times, March 2020 to October 2021. That's like a year and a half. Residents will not be allowed to renew their leases, and the complex cannot accept any new tenants. The Pepper Tree Apartments are funded with our taxpayer dollars from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We're waiting to hear back from federal officials at HUD about the injunction. Tenants have also reached out to state officials for help too. The Tennessee Housing Development Agency turned over more than 50 complaints to REG that it received about the Pepper Tree Apartments in the past 3 years. 50 complaints. Should be more than that. Issues range from water leaks, plumbing to air, heating not working, as well as rodent problems. Now, once again, here we hear about rodents. And this is an entirely different apartment complex. The complaints date back to 2018 and include some that were investigated as life-threatening, quote unquote. One tenant who called THDA last October said she had a son. He had been living out of the car because the complex refused to rehouse her after her apartment caught fire. Wow, that's deep. This despite the Memphis Fire Department report saying it wasn't the tenant's fault like the complex claimed, but rather an electrical issue. Another tenant said in a complaint the bedroom ceiling collapsed. There's a mice infestation. Another resident said when it rains, water comes through the light fixtures in the bathroom. And when you open this article, you will see said pictures of the complaints the tenants are describing. One told THDA, I had issues since day one, and it has continued to worsen over time. I have submitted several letters to management with no results. These apartments already have rodent and pest issues, so this is not safe. In each of these complaints, THDA follows up with the complex and the resident. Sometimes the issue gets resolved quickly, but not always, and not necessarily to the resident's satisfaction. Like in the case with the fire, THDA had to press the Pepper Tree about finding the resident a place to live, but they refused, continuing to say it wasn't their responsibility, and blamed how the fire department wrote up the report. Wow, now that's messed up. So basically, you're going to try to tell the fire department how to write up a report when they are the specialists who know what caused the fire. So if it's deemed an apartment issue such as electrical within the apartment itself, that has nothing to do with the residents. Wow, this is absolutely crazy. Oh man. It's also clear from those records that the owners are very aware of what's going on. In some cases, THDA requested communication be sent directly to Tesco's president, Larry Sisson. Our reporting over the years has shown residents also filed complaints locally through code enforcement. We may finally get to hear from the owners about all of this when they answer to an environmental court judge next week because of that public nuisance injunction. Tesco refused our request for comment, and we're waiting to hear back from HUD. HUD conducts inspections of properties like Pepper Tree. Federal records indicate the most recent inspection was conducted in May of 2019, and the complex received a 70, which is passing. But you know that ain't no damn good. HUD has just resumed physical inspections earlier this year. Inspections for 2018 and 2016 show scores of 65 and 48, respectively. 48 is a failing score. In addition to HUD's physical inspections, THDA also visits the properties for what's called management and occupancy reviews. Since those inspections have also just resumed, THDA conducted the most recent one at the Pepper Tree in September. We filed a public records request for more details. The agency says Pepper Tree received a satisfactory rating during its previous MOR conducted in December of 2019. Okay, I think that's it for that. News 3, WREG is the source, and it is also the source of my topic for this evening's commentary pertaining to Highland Hills. Yeah, Mexico treatment indeed. Let me say this. HUD, you're also responsible. You cannot turn a blind eye and just keep calling someone to answer to dire living situations. At some point, you have to step in and say, we will no longer partner with you. We will no longer pay you rent for these residents. If indeed these are apartments that go by your income and or take housing vouchers or both, you have the right to say, we will no longer be funding your pocketbook. We're not going to inspect anymore. We're not going to be involved with you anymore. We're severing ties with you. Same thing with the city. The city has a right to tell the apartment complex management and owners, we will no longer be conversating with you about this apartment complex. We're done. We will be sending a condemn letter on the property. You see, this is how you get the ball rolling. And the city is also liable because you see this from one jurisdiction to another where they keep sending citations, complaint, code this, code that, from complaints from the residents to city. People in the community. It's an eyesore. It's a nuisance. 911 calls, fire calls. And as you see here, they want to blame the damn resident for a fire that the fire department said was electrical, which means it's your problem, not the tenants. You're at fault because you don't have the place up to code. And something built in the 1970s has to be rewired at some point. The plumbing has to be redone. Duh. I think most people know that. 5-year-old can tell you that. But I blame the city because once you start getting nuisance calls, once you start getting complaints from the tenants to your code inspection office, then it's time to talk to the landlord to say, we will not continue to keep sending you notices from others complaining. You need to get this fixed by this deadline. If not, we will condemn the property. That's the end of the conversation. There's nothing to talk about. Then you call HUD. You say the same damn thing. Hey, we're not going to keep listening to these complaints. We're not going to keep filing this stuff and putting it in a computer. And nobody wants to answer to what we're saying. Nobody wants to answer to the tenants. You're getting money from the government and or payments from the tenants, partial payment or full payment from the tenants, depending on what they pay. No. This goes on everywhere. Small town USA, all the way up to the big boys, LA, New York, Miami, Chicago. It's all the same. The city has an obligation because the property is in your jurisdiction. So you are obligated to do your job and help keep decent living in the city's jurisdiction. HUD, same thing. Management of the company, same thing. Owners of the property, same thing. But these people get a free pass because they don't put their foot down to let these people know you're not going to continue to keep the place open and continue to take rent and get money from the government. So the government should be saying, we ain't giving up no more money. We're not paying no more rent to you until you fix the damn problem. If not, we will sever our ties with you. Same thing with the city. You do not conform to the citations. You do not repair what is wrong with the property. By this date here, we will condemn your property. Once you have an infestation of bugs, bed bugs, roaches, rats, you're talking about a whole different situation. Mold. You got to go tear down walls when you have black mold. And mold is dangerous to one's health. After 3 years or so of inhaling mold, you will begin to get health problems. That's what was told to me by a physician. And that is why many children grow up to have asthma, for those who did not know this. Asthma comes from being in homes, apartments with mold. And a lot of people didn't even know that as adults, why they have asthma trouble. Because you lived somewhere that had mold. Either it was visible or invisible. And if you see black mold growing anywhere in your home, you need to get it repaired immediately because it is dangerous to your health. And a lot of people think it's okay to just let a little mold build up. No, you can never let a little mold build up. That's why you have to keep your bathrooms clean and sanitized. You have to keep water out of the floor of your bathroom, around the tub area. You cannot let water build up because that's what causes the mold. Any type of leaks, holes in walls, faulty fixtures, that is the start of your mold problem. Anytime water gets into a home from rain, flood, mold will build up. And it then will get on your garments and shoes, the walls, the floors, and it will spread. Pray for these residents, Highland Hills. Pray for the residents at Pepper Tree Apartments. You want to see content I have in the library, please check my video I made a few days ago pertaining to Pepper Tree, because obviously they are a problem property as well. Multi-South, what are you going to do about this? You're the managers. You're not answering the phone. Why not? Why not be truthful with the residents and tell them that you will no longer be managing this property? The owners have an issue with this, this, and this. If it's an issue that it's the tenants not paying due bills, blah, 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 just tell the truth and be done with it. If it's an issue with the city, just tell the truth. Because it's kind of late now. The city has issued the residents a statement that they will not be having water, gas, electric. So at this point, anything you have to say will probably be null and void. Nobody's going to even be interested because these people are going to be too busy trying to figure out how the hell they're going to go find somewhere to stay where they can have appropriate amenities. And 9 times out of 10, these people also have children. What are the children going to do? Coming in and can't take a bath, can't take a shower, can't use the restroom, can't eat. Because the refrigerator is going to be non-workable. So all the food somebody's bought is going to be wasted. People have deep freezers. Wasted. God forbid residents don't have a car. Now you got to figure out a way to now try to find a place to live and get help from the city, Red Cross, churches. See, this is unacceptable. And in 2022, there shouldn't even be any rundown houses, rundown duplexes, rundown trailers, rundown homes, and rundown apartment buildings, skyboxes, or low levels. There's no reason in an era where we have nothing but amenities. This country has money. You take money from taxpayers for every little thing, from groceries to clothes to fixing the highways to roads. There's no reason for nobody to have a rundown ass apartment complex in America where you have roaches and rats and bed bugs, crime. It is time for people to get off their lazy butts and do what they need to do, which is do right by the citizens. Because if you don't, you are a part of the problem and not the solution. And I feel sorry for anybody that lives in deplorable conditions, because this is why the world is in the shape it's in. Nobody wants to stand account. People just want to continue to take your damn rent money and don't want to fix nothing, don't want to clean nothing, don't want to cut the grass, cut the lawn, cut the hedges, fix anything inside the apartment, replace things, new flooring, ceilings, all of that, wall, drywall. Just keep taking the rent money. I know all about it. I see it every day. And nothing will change until somebody speaks up. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope the content was informative and that you got something out of this live. I will keep you abreast on any updates pertaining to Pepper Tree Apartments and also Highland Hills, that's in the Fox Meadows area of Memphis, Tennessee. As I said, Memphis has a lot of crime as of late, so we will pray for Memphis, Tennessee. But nonetheless, these people have some serious issues down there in Memphis, and I'm sure these problems are everywhere, as most of you know. We will pray that the city of Memphis will reach out to these residents, because you're talking about almost 300 people, and they're going to need help from the surrounding city and county to get situated into hotels and then permanent housing. So we will pray that the city will step up and give aid to these citizens, and also hold the management and also the owners accountable, because the manager, you're just as foul because you manage the property, and it is your job to do your job. When you see that the owners are not complying, they don't want to give up monies to fix anything, pay for anything, then you bow out as the manager. So see, everybody's guilty in my book, from the city to the managers to the owner. It's just a vicious circle, and everybody has to stand account. And this is the most vile thing I've ever heard pertaining to a city cutting off water, power, gas. I've never heard of such. I've never heard of such. If I have, this will be the second time, because I've not heard of any major company, corporation cutting off power to an apartment complex. That leads me to believe there's issues with the apartment complex owner. They're probably bankrupt or having financial issues and citations from the city, and they haven't been paying the management company, perhaps. See, that's another thing. May not have even been paying the management company all of the monies, not giving them money to help fix things on the property, receiving citations from the city. This is a winded situation, obviously. But everyone has to stand account. because these people are innocent. They just need a place to live. It's not their job to tell somebody how to run a place. It's not their job to also keep giving you rent money, and you're not repairing anything, and you're not providing them a safe environment for themselves and their children and their guests. And you're also an eyesore to the community when you have problems such as rats and rodents. And as far as Pepper Tree, they had nothing but damn near 1,700 nuisance calls. So that's bad for anybody living in the apartment complex, visiting and surrounding homes, areas, businesses. Because you always have to remember about nuisance. That nuisance travels out of the location, which will be into the neighborhood. Prayers for Memphis, Tennessee. Prayers for Highland Hills, the residents, and also Pepper Tree residents. God bless all of you. Thank you all so much for listening to this live today. Have a wonderful week. Be safe. Stay cool and hydrated. I will bring you more updates pertaining to monkeypox and polio. There has been an outbreak in New York pertaining to polio. And we also have 6 people confirmed with monkeypox in Memphis, Tennessee. I brought you content of a young African-American female in Georgia who now has monkeypox. So you need to be careful going out into the general public and the company you keep and the people you're dealing with and having contact with in sexual relations, because it is passed through kissing, saliva, sexual contact, skin-to-skin contact, bedding, and so forth. Please stay informed as to preserve your health and livelihood. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.